Good evening everyone and welcome to Gundam News. And as always, a new month means a new Gunpla schedule. And we're starting on the 11th with two versions of the RX-78 F00/E Gundam with the X001 glass feather equipped. And the cheapest way to get it is the entry grade. For 1,320 Yen, 9 US, you can get just the RX-78 F00/E Gundam with a shield, beam rifle, and 2 beam sabers, which you can then equip with the RX-78 F00/E Gundam optional part set X001 glass feather equipment. This set goes for 1,100 Yen, 7 US, and comes with the glass feather backpack, a new backpack for the Gundam to connect the pack to, armor parts, and the new beam welding gun in both stored and deployed mode. The more expensive option then is the no grade, which goes for 3,960 Yen, 27 US, but for all intents and purposes, we can call this thing a high grade. The accessories are the same as with the entry grade, but of course they are all a little bit better. For example, the sub-arms on the backpack can move and they don't have any hollow parts. The blue solar panels are actual plastic pieces instead of stickers, and the beam welding gun is also looking a lot less hollow. One day later then, you can get the Police Zaku for 2,200 Yen, 15 US. A very thick Zaku that comes complete with a shield, a baton, Zaku machine gun, heat hawk, marking stickers, and a movable mono eye. And then finally on the 26th, we are getting the option part set Gunpla 16 Meteor Hopper. It goes for 880 Yen, 6 US, and it is quite literally just a reboxed version of the previously released high-grade build custom Meteor Hopper, so that's all I can really say about that. And staying with the Gunpla, we also got some new announcements this week, although unfortunately both of them are Premium Bandai Limited. The most straightforward one is the high-grade Gundam Plutone Black. For 2,640 Yen, 11 US, it is a black version of the previously released regular high-grade Plutone, so also no surprises here. It comes with a GN beam rifle, 2 GN beam sabers with 2 long beam saber blade effect parts and 2 short beam saber blade effect parts, a GN shield, and parts to parts form the core fighter, all of which can be yours in June. And the other one then is the real great Avalanche Exia Dash. It goes for 5,500 Yen, 37 US, and now comes with a lot of things to play with. In addition to the standard Exia stuff, we get the Avalanche equipment and the Dash equipment, also allowing you to build this thing as the Avalanche Exia. We get beam blades for the Dash unit and a GN particle colored action base to put it on. And just like the Plutone Black, all this can be yours in June. And then related to the Gunpla news, Mr. Hobby will be releasing some new Aqueous paints. For 308 Yen a pop, around 2 US, you can get GQuuuuuX White, GQuuuuuX Blue, GQuuuuuX Yellow, GQuuuuuX Red, and GQuuuuuX Dark Gray in late May. And then in early July, you can get 15 different Gundam Assemble colors for 385 Yen a pop, around 2 to 3 US. For the figures then, we go to the Gundam Military Generation line, where we are getting to new figures in late June. And I say new in quotation marks because they're just budget re-releases of already existing figures. Simply put, they eliminated some of the extra accessories, simplified the packaging to make them look more like packaging from Star Wars action figures, and then slashed the price to a much more reasonable 3,300 Yen, 22 US. We've got a Federation pilot who comes with 3 sets of hands, a pistol, a holster, 2 backs, and a jetpack. And we've got a Zeon pilot who also comes with 3 sets of hands, a machine gun, and a jetpack. So the only major thing that they're missing is the ability to take off their helmet, which really isn't all that major anyways. So if you want to pick up one of these bad boys, I will have them linked down below. And this week, we also got some good news for the Gundam Wing fans, because Gundam.info has officially announced the start of the Gundam Wing 30th Anniversary project. We got this new artwork, there's a special page on the official website, both in Japanese and in English. They announced that the Wing Gundam Zero will be joining the lineup of Gundam Battle Operation 2 on Steam, although the exact date of when is yet to be revealed, and I'm also kind of surprised that it's the TV version that will be joining, rather than the seemingly more popular Endless Waltz version. And on December the 12th, they'll be releasing a special book set for both Gundam Wing and Gundam Wing Endless Waltz. It is called Official Book Operation 30th and will consist of 3 books, plus a special sleeve to put them in. The first will contain setting materials, mecha profiles, character profiles, storyboards, and other such things. The second one will contain a story guide for both Gundam Wing and Gundam Wing Endless Waltz, and again, more things like it. And then the third one will contain storyboards for Gundam Wing Endless Waltz. The whole set will set you back 16,500 yen, 112 US, and will also be available overseas through, of course, Premium Bandai USA, but also through Dream Express and Tokyo Otaku Mode. If this isn't a nice gift for the Gundam Wing fan in your life, whether that is you or someone else, I don't know what is. As for the G Gundam 30th Anniversary project then, we got an updated version of the commemoration art, now also featuring the new characters from the side story, and the 3rd episode of the G Gundam radio program was released on YouTube. But as per usual, it is region locked, so you will need a VPN like NordVPN to watch it. And if you don't have NordVPN yet, you can get it either with the link down below or the code kkrt. Not only will you be getting a sweet discount, but you'll also be supporting the channel. For GQuuuuuX then, with its imminent release, we also got some events going on for it. In Line Gundam Wars, you can get gacha medals as a login bonus until the maintenance on April the 9th, and after this maintenance, a GQuuuuuX event will be held. From April the 7th until April the 30th then, a collaboration store will be opened up at the Toppa Base Akiba inside of the Akihabara station. And the currently unveiled goods are these acrylic keychains and an online exclusive light-up plate. And on April the 4th, the 5th, the 6th, the 12th, the 13th, the 19th, and the 20th, the Gundam Cafe food truck will again set up shop behind the life-size Unicorn Gundam with some GQuuuuuX-inspired drinks. And as you might be able to tell, the drinks here that are up for offer are the same as the ones from last time. We've got Machu's strawberry drink with kiwi, Nyan's chocolate drink with mango, Shuji's grape squash drink with strawberry, or a GQuuuuuX latte with 1 of 7 artworks printed on top of it. Meanwhile, on the gaming front then, the biggest news was no doubt the announcement of Super Robot Wars Y, which was announced shortly after I got done with last week's Gundam News episode. It'll be coming to PlayStation 5, Nintendo Switch, and Steam in 2025, and it will be getting a Western release. Something that I'm still not used to, considering how long it was a Japan exclusive due to licensing issues. And so far, we know of at least 2 Gundam series that will be included in the game. G Gundam and the first season of Witch from Mercury. But this list is still incomplete as of the moment of writing, so maybe more Gundam series can still be added later on. The rest of the list consists of Combattler V, Aura Battler Dumbine, Majestic Prince, Macross Delta Passionate Valkyria, Code Geass Luch of the Resurrection, or Resurrection, and Getter Robo Arc. What's probably going to be limited to Japan then is the physical Ultra Limited Edition. In it, you get the game for either Switch or PlayStation 5, a digital soundtrack with 76 songs, acrylic stands of the main original cast, and a Robot Spirits figure of the main original mech, the Rune Drache. There will also be a digital deluxe edition, a digital ultimate edition, and a pre-order bonus. But the stuff included in these is still yet to be announced. And if you want to check out the trailer for yourself, I will have that linked down below as well. What you can pre-order right now then is the digital version of Gundam Seed Battle Destiny Remastered for the Nintendo Switch, which you should of course do right away, just in case they run out of digital copies. All jokes aside then, we also just got confirmation for G Generation Eternal's release date, April the 16th, with pre-downloads being accessible on the 14th, so that of course you can start playing right away when the app launches. But here's the funny thing, for people who got the game from the App Store, you're probably thinking, of course it was the 16th. It's always been the 16th because that's what the App Store has always been telling you. But the weird thing is that on the official G Generation Eternal Twitter, they had a pinned tweet that said that the launch date on the App Store wasn't actually representative of the actual release date, which now has of course been removed and replaced by a giveaway campaign for a Gundam Universe action figure. So yeah, I'll have the link to the giveaway down below. Next up then, in Gundam Battle Operation 2 for the PlayStation, the RF Dome has joined the fray, while on Steam the G-Doors has become available. In UC Engage, the UR Uso Ewin and his UR Victory 2 Buster Gundam will soon become available as event unit assemblies, and we also got trailers for upcoming content in the Amuro and Char mode. It is of course all new animation, but it is beautifully done in the style of Zeta Gundam. It's just a lot more HD than the series. And finally, we also got some Arsenal-based news. On July the 2nd, the Single of 4 Squad's theme song will be releasing, and included with the limited edition is one of 4 random cards. The Zeta Gundam version Momoiro Clover Z, with either Momota Kanako, Tamai Shiori, Sasaki Ayaka, or Takagi Reni. But regardless of which card you get, the in-game mobile suit will always be the same. A campaign that is currently ongoing then is the Spring Festival 2025 Card Pack Get campaign. For every 100 yen you spend in the game, you will get 1 point, and you can then exchange 10 points for 1 of 10 random cards. There's Sayla with Castfall, Hamon with Char, Benager with Maneva, Harry with the Moon, Mirai with Cherry Blossoms, Lunamaria with Mayrin, Mirai again but with a bear guy, Raraya by herself, Choo-Choo with the gang, and a secret one. And I know what you're all wondering about. And the answer is yes. As soon as I saw that there's a card out there, which has Mayrin in a Zaft red uniform, I of course had to get it at once. And I also like the touch that she's not wearing Lunamaria's skirt because, of course, canonically, it doesn't fit. In other news then, we got some new Advance of Zeta artwork, this time featuring the Frududu Nang?
What the fuck?
Sydney Sweeney is in talks to appear in the live-action Gundam movie. The Gundam Next Future final in Osaka event has begun and will last until April the 14th, and Bandai is hosting an online choir contest in Japan, with 2 of the possible entries being Gundam songs. Ai Senshi from the OG Gundam, and Annani Isho Datanoni from Gundam Seed. You can check out an example performance of these songs through the links down below, and I highly recommend you to check out the Annani Isho Datanoni performance. As for the things you could get this week then. First up, we had these Gundam X Miku Anniversary Special Project Rubber Keychain Gachapons. They go for 300 yen a spin, around 2 US, and they feature a number of these special anniversary illustrations, like Miku with the Wing Zero Customs feathers and Miku in a Zaku costume. And then finally on April the 1st, you could see if you were the fool for buying Gundam 00 Gundam Meisters Ichiban Kuji tickets. One ticket will set you back 850 yen, 6 US, and will get you one of the following prizes. A really nice looking Exia, Master Lice Mechanics version, a big acrylic stand featuring either Setsun and the Exia, Lock-On and the Dynamis, Alleluia and the Kyrios, or Tierra and the Virtue, a rubber coaster, an acrylic stand featuring one of the main characters, or a clear poster. And if you then happen to get the final ticket, you also get the Gundam Exia Master Lice Mechanics Trans Am version. For this week's reading material then, there was the Gundam Seed Freedom Edition of Gundam Weapons, featuring a bunch of scratch-built Master Grades, like the Master Grade Rising Freedom. There was the big comic Superior, in which Gundam Thunderbolt is being serialized. The 23rd chapter of the Battle Tales of Flanagan Boone was released for free online and features some very suggestive preview images. And what was also released for free online was the Bandai Namco Filmworks magazine, featuring some basic information on GQuuuuuX as well as other upcoming anime. The links to both are down below, but they are all in Japanese. But at least they're not region locked. For the apparel news then, we're starting off with something special. In collaboration with Shoei, Gundam will be releasing 6 Gundam The Origin inspired Z8 helmets. They go for 88,000 yen each, 590 US, and I gotta say, they do look really cool. In June, there is the RX-7802, the Standard Zaku 2, and Char Zaku 2, and then in September, there is the Zaku 1, the Zaku 2 High Mobility Type Black Tri-Source Custom, and the Bugu Ramba Raw Custom. Strict G, meanwhile, had a collaboration with Hikeshi Spirit, featuring designs with the RX-78-2 and Char Zaku 2 from the OG Gundam. For 7,150 yen, 48 US, there's an RX-78-2 or Char Zaku 2 t-shirt. For 22,000 yen, 147 US, there's an RX-78-2 or Char Zaku 2 Hanten, which is like a traditional Japanese winter coat. And for 27,500 yen, 184 US, you can get an RX-78-2 Denim Hanten. All of which have become available at physical Strict G stores on March the 29th. And in collaboration with Tamashii Nations, they're releasing some random things featuring Amuro, Char, Camille, Kira, Atheron, and Shin. You can get them on an acrylic stand for 1,650 yen, 11 US, a random acrylic keychain for 880 yen, 6 US, and a random can batch for 550 yen, 4 US. They are currently only available on the Japanese Premium Bandai website or in Tamashii Nation stores, but the page does say that in the future, they might also become available overseas. And then just today, pre-orders began for these Super Deformed themed goodies. For 1,210 yen, 8 US, there is a Gundam Gun Cannon or Gun Tank rubber keychain, or for 3,520 yen, 24 US, there is a tote bag featuring either the Gundam, Gun Cannon, Gun Tank, Jim, Ball, and Haro, or Char Zaku, the Standard Zaku, the Dom, Agai, Zagok, and Char Zagok. And all of these items will also become available in physical Strict G stores on the 5th. And from Bankote then, we of course also got a bunch of acrylic stuff. On the 28th, pre-orders began for these Witch from Mercury acrylic message stands. They go for 1,760 yen each, 12 US, and feature a screenshot from Witch from Mercury with a fitting message that can be used at work. For example, lunch break, coffee break, in a business meeting, working from home, etc., etc. And if you want, the backdrops and the messages are interchangeable. And these things will be coming your way in May. From April the 1st then, pre-orders began for these Gundam wing things. And I believe that for certain characters, this might just be the first time that they're receiving any kind of merchandise, like Sally Poe and Catherine Bloom. All of them are randomized though. You can get these Tsunagyuto acrylic stands for 880 yen, 6 US, where the character art has them reaching out their hands, and you can also use these acrylic stands as keychains. For 550 yen for US then, you can get a Puni badge, where the characters have puffy cheeks and the badge itself is coated in rubber to give it a soft feel. So you can kind of like feel the soft cheeks of the characters. And for another 880 yen 6 US, you can get those puffy cheeked Gundam Wing characters as acrylic stands, which can also double as keychains. And all this acrylic stuff will be shipping out in June. And as always, let's quickly wrap things up with the polls. In the final poll done by Gundam.info, they wanted to know which person in red clothes we would want to be. Although, going by the options, the question might as well have been, who is your favorite version of Char? And the results were pretty unanimous, with 46.3% Quattro Vegeta, who is of course totally not a Char, came out on top. Like I said when this thing was still going on, the OG Char might be the more iconic one when it comes to merchandising, but there is definitely something about Quattro Vegeta. Whether it's his looks, his mobile suits, or his motivations, he definitely managed to stand out. It's just unfortunate that he got pretty disillusioned near the end of the series, resulting in the Char that we got during Char's counterattack, who, by the way, came in third with only 20% of the votes. And he is also personally my least favorite Char because of how petty he became. He might talk big throughout the movie, but really, the only thing he's after is just a rematch with Amuro. And rather than just keeping this problem between him and Amuro and, finding a good solution for that problem, he decided to make it everyone's problem by trying to drop an asteroid on the Earth. Or well, I guess he made it everyone on Earth's problem by doing that. Second place then went to the iconic OG Char with 26.6%, and last place went to Full Frontal with only 7.2%. A man who isn't physically Char, but he does have some of Char's soul that was somehow implanted into him. Which then makes me wonder, what happened to the original soul of the original Full Frontal? As for the currently ongoing poll then, with no more Gundam.info polls, we turn to my community page where I asked you what all of your favorite Gunpla grades were. And so far, two things have become very clear. The first is that despite barely any retail master grades being released nowadays, the grade has remained very popular. It is currently in second place with 37%, which is very close to the 40% that the high grades have. And the second thing is that I guess I should have put super deformed kits on there instead of perfect grades, because so far they're at a not quite so perfect 3%. If YouTube had allowed for 5 options, SDs would have been on there. But now I had to make a choice for that 4th place, and well, that is where personal biases come into play. And if you want to still cast your vote, I will have a link down below. And that has been all for this week's Gundam News. As always, a big thank you to the Patreon supporters. I hope everyone watching has a great evening, and I'll see you all next week with more Gundam News.